Hi everyone, and welcome to the Getting Hitched Zoom series. My name is Michelle and I am from Bloom Entertainment. Each Monday for the past 4 weeks, we've met 5 new wedding suppliers who have chatted with us about all things wedding. I can't believe that it's week 5 already, which means that it's the last night of the series. All of the previous Getting Hitched Zoom series, as well as tonight's session, are streamed live on the Bloom Entertainment by Design Facebook page and also placed on our YouTube channel as well. So if you wanted to catch up on any of the previous sessions, make sure you hop on and check those out. If you have any questions for any of our suppliers that you meet tonight, feel free to type any of your questions in the chat box at the bottom of the screen. So it comes up for us a little bit like an SMS, and at least that way, Sam, our MC, can read those out to all of the suppliers who are here tonight on your behalf. We hope you enjoyed tonight's session and look forward to helping you on your wedding journey. I'm excited to let you know who tonight's presenters are. We have a great team of suppliers on board for you to meet and chat with tonight. In tonight's session, you will meet Celebrant, Nance, one of my favorite bridal designers, Jullia Tran, Vocalist, Debbi Arpini, Vincent Mennelli from Always Classic Cars, and Nader Elelfy from Midnight DJs and Photo Booth. And of course, as usual, if you've joined us in the last 4 weeks, we're going to be guided tonight by the awesome MC, Sam Muscat. We are very, very fortunate to have had Sam joined us for every week of the Getting Hitched series. He's made it easy for us and easy to guide you through all of your questions and meeting all of our different suppliers. On that note, I might hand over to Sam to get started with tonight's series.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you very, very much. And welcome everybody, and welcome to our final session in the our 5th and final session for this series of Getting Hitched. First of all, before I do continue, I just want to thank Michelle personally for putting this on for us. It's been a tough market for our people in this industry, and especially for this year. And we're hoping that with all these restrictions being lifted and so forth, the light is shining at the end of the tunnel. And to have you on board, Michelle, you know, being the director of Bloom Entertainment, you've been amazing, and we're all very, very proud to be part of your family. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. That's beautiful.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are returning from the past sessions, welcome back. If you are new to this session, welcome aboard, and we hope you do enjoy tonight's lineup. Like Michelle said, we have some great speakers who are industry experts in their field. It gives me great pleasure to know them personally and also professionally. So without further ado, I'd like to make welcome a very, very special lady. I've had the privilege of knowing her for many, many years. Her name is Nance, and she is one of Melbourne's finest and gracious wedding celebrants. I hold her in very, very high regard. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in welcoming and giving her a virtual round of applause for Nance. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Firstly, I'd like to begin with telling you a little bit about myself. Previously, before coming a celebrant, I worked for the Herald and Weekly Times for 14 years as their project and events manager, and just got the job to write for the Sunday Herald Sun wedding section prior to me leaving, which I only left because my husband had developed motor neurone disease, and I gave up to look after him. Now, I always had a love of weddings, like most young girls, dream of meeting their prince and getting married, and total romantic as me. And I had one of my daughter's friends come around and said, what are you going to do with yourself, you know, later, you know, now that you're home looking after your husband? And I said, oh, I'm not sure, but I'll have to do something. And she thought about that, and just later on her daughter came around and was getting married, and she said, Dawn, we want you to marry us. And I said, I can't marry you. And she said, well, you better find out what you've got to do and do it. So they gave me a 12 months lead up, hence I went and did the course, didn't I? And I've never looked back since. It's been the most rewarding, wonderful journey. I've met some amazing young couples, loved every single minute of it. And I wouldn't, I would recommend it as a profession to anybody. What else can I say? When I think about weddings, I think about love and making their journey in that whole process the best I can possibly make it. So to begin with, when I meet a couple, I like to invite them to my home. We sit down, have a cuppa, have a chat about what they are looking for in their celebrant. And I always say to every young couple, I may not be the right celebrant for you, but see a couple and you will actually know, because you feel that connection. There is definitely a connection and you feel comfortable. I like the couples to feel comfortable with me so that when they are wanting to ask, we want to change this or change that, they don't feel that, they're asking too much. I usually have a few meetings with them. They can ring me at any time on the phone. And to be perfectly honest, I make a lot of beautiful friendships out of them. I've watched their children grow up. I've done their baby naming days. I've done, 21st birthdays, many different types of celebrations along the way. And to be perfectly honest, there is no greater joy than being a part of that couple's journey, even, sending a birthday wish or congratulating them on their anniversaries. And each and every couple, I make a lovely candle for their first anniversary. So they like that on their first anniversary and send me a photo. A lot send a photo and a lot don't. A lot will send a photo of the candle alight. And I think it's just lovely that they've remembered 12 months later to, acknowledge the day that we shared together. So from that point of view, I think it's just wonderful. And so I'm very passionate about what I do. I love to give a rehearsal for the couple prior to their wedding because I feel makes them feel comfortable on the day. They get to know where they're going to stand, what they're going to do, just even to the way they hold their flowers. And, there's nothing worse than having, the bride come down the aisle with the flowers up here. And I say, well, it looks like a head on a bunch of flowers, lower your flowers. They're just little things, but I think they're personal and they're very important, for them to know what they're going to do. What else can I tell you? Let me just have a think for a second while I just cheat and look at my sheet of what I was going to talk about.
While you do that, Nancy, Dawn, how about we talk about, I'll raise some questions that are coming through as we speak. Because as you know, we are live on Facebook, so the questions do come through.
Lovely.
Now, one thing that's come up has been clearly identified, and I'm glad it's come up. They said Dawn comes across as very personal and very connected to the couple. Do you want to talk a bit about that connection that you adhere to, that style?
Oh, yes. Oh, look, I think it's important to have a wonderful connection with the couple from the point of view that, there's no too big a ask. They can ask me whatever they want. I will go out of my way to make that whatever they're looking for, just as perfect I possibly can for the day. I mean, somebody might say to me, well, can you come a bit earlier and set up a bit earlier because we'll have guests there and we'd like a little bit of background music playing. We'll supply the music. Can you use your PA? And I'll say, yes, not a problem. I'll arrive a bit earlier. I'm always there 1 hour prior to the ceremony anyway. The requirement of law is only half an hour, but I like to feel that I've set up, sound checked and everything's perfect, just to go. So, that connection for me is really important. As I said, I develop a relationship with the couple and, that's about it.
That's great. Now you briefly spoke about that one word, law, and legalities and so forth.
Okay.
Want to talk a bit about that?
Absolutely. So when I first meet with a couple and I invite them home and they decide, yes, that they'd like me as their celebrant, we then book an appointment to come back or if they haven't brought their documentation, and I give them that option, you know, over the phone when I make the initial appointment, you know, bring your documentation. If you would like to fill out your notice of intention to marry, we can do it on the night. I look after all the legal aspects of the wedding for them, and even get their certificate from the Register of Births and Deaths after the marriage, so that they don't have to have that well, go online and spend an hour filling out all the forms to do it for them. So it's really important that the paperwork's filled out, and they must fill that out 1 month prior to when they want to get married. That paperwork is actually valid for 18 months. So they can book their wedding in at any time from the time after that 1 month. So if they're doing a short, simple little ceremony, and I do quite a few elopement ceremonies, which I've done at home, I've done them in a local park, in the people's houses, they just need to give that 1 month prior to have the wedding happen.
Okay. Well, and one other question that's coming through on the feed is, after we get married, do we receive any documentation from the department?
Yes, well, they get their, I apply for their certificate of marriage from the Register of Births, Deaths and Marriages. I lodge all the paperwork for them, and then and pay for their certificate of marriage from Register of Births and Deaths, and then that's sent to them in the mail by a certified mail. So they get that usually a week or two afterwards.
Okay, no problem. Excellent.
Any other questions, Sam?
And the other question was in terms of value in for paying a little bit more for a celebrant like yourself. What is the extra in value of going down that path?
Well, I think the value is the experience of the celebrant in one respect. The value in monetary terms is always depicted by the celebrant and the amount of weddings that she's done or he's done. I believe in professionalism, the way they present themselves. I mean, you know, it's all very nice rocking up in a, and I have a lot of couples ask me this question: what do you wear when you marry us? And I say, I always keep it very plain and very simple, for the reason being, florals are in today, but when you look on your wedding photos, you don't want to look back on massive, great big flowers, and the celebrant stands out and the couple doesn't. You know, I also give them the choice: would you like me to stand to the side? Where would you like me to stand when I do your ceremony? I think that's very important, so that the couple feel that, you know, I'm not overtaking them. It's about them on the day. It's not about me. And that's, you know, that's one thing that's I like them to feel comfortable with. So I think presentation is very, very important. I always try to wear cream and black. I can then blend into the surroundings and not try and make, you know, myself the feature of the photograph. I think a celebrant, it's very important for them to have, if you're doing a ceremony, say at a hospital where someone isn't well and for some reason they have to have a ceremony done for somebody sick, to have a lot of empathy. I think the professionalism has to be there, that you show that you've got a lot of compassion, and, you know, in difficult situations, that's really important too. What else can I tell you? Any other questions at all, Sam?
You've answered quite broadly, Dawn, across the whole board. So thank you for your contribution, and
okay.
And thank you for your input this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for a celebrant, Dawn is one of Melbourne's finest. I hold her in very, very high regard. And,
thank you very much, Sam.
And in my view, you're one of the matriarchs of this industry. So
I certainly am.
You are. So
I've done over 1,300 different ceremonies over the years. So I feel, you know, I've been around a while and I love what I do. Thank you.
And it clearly shows. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Dawn, Nance, one of Melbourne's finest wedding celebrants. Give her a virtual round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. So as we move along, ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege now, and this is actually quite a special treat for all our viewers on this evening. We have a designer, a wedding dress designer by the name of Jullia Tran, and she's joining us this evening. Her bridal couture range is Jullia Bridal, and we're in for a very, very good treat. I'm actually looking forward to this session because I was having a bit of a peek during the rehearsals earlier this evening. So I'm not going to say anything more, but just welcome Jullia Tran. Welcome.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. My name is Jullia from Jullia Bridal. So I'm very, very happy to be here today. Actually, I'm quite nervous. But anyways, I'll have to start it anyway. So let me introduce a bit about the business. Jullia Bridal is out there for almost 7 years. At first, I started from the garage in my house for 11 dresses only. I always remember that number, 11 dresses in my garage. I set up a studio in the garage, and then I'm doing it for 3 years. Along the way, raising 2 beautiful daughters. And after that, they grow up, they went to childcare, kinder. And then I opened a studio. And now from 11 dresses, I got over 200 dresses in the studio. So 2 years ago, after the wedding dress, I added a debutante gowns, a bit of bridesmaid dresses, a bit of evening dresses, and flower girl dresses. So add all together, I probably have over 300 dresses in my studio. And our dresses start from as little as a petite size 4 up to a size 26. So I'm probably gonna do a bit of showcase the dresses so people can see.
Wonderful.
Yep. So I probably give me 1 second. I'll help the models first.
Okay.
Yep.
Look, whilst Jullia is getting organised, Michelle, you've got a great relationship with Jullia, and you've got a bit about her personally as well. Do you want to give us a bit more insight as to where she's located?
Absolutely. I absolutely love Julia's dresses, and one of the things that I've loved about them in the past is that she actually does a colour range as well. So wow. She has the most beautiful gowns, and as she said, all sizes. So we've sent lots and lots of ladies down to Jullia Bridal, but she's got these beautiful wedding gowns in red and blue and black and gold, and they're absolutely stunning. So I don't know if she's going to show any of those tonight. She may have gone for the more traditional bridal gowns tonight, but I must admit they're actually my favorite. And when I've seen some of her brides in those, it's just stunning because it's something different and really, really original for a bride to wear. So I love it. And I don't know if Julia's going to talk about it tonight, but I also know that Jullia has been doing something really special through COVID. She's been making the most amazing masks for brides and grooms, and wow. They are stunning. So hopefully she'll show you some of those as well.
Let's wait and see. I think the girls are ready. So we're gonna, the first one we're gonna show is one of the best seller in the store, which is the mermaid gown that's very fitted, but it's come a long way with a very detachable trend. So people normally wear detachable trends for the big, when they start walking down the aisle. So you got a very beautiful long trend, but then they take it out at the reception to have a little dress. So it's easy to move around. So I will move the camera a little bit. Okay, here we go. And then she actually wearing a bridal mask matching with the dress. See? Thank you. And the next one will come. Yeah, it's the most simplest gown in the shop, but actually one of the best, a very best seller. People really like surprised. How does it look so simple, but it looks so nice on them? So yeah, it's got a very simple lace on the top, but very plain skirt at the bottom. Yep. Thank you. So that's two of the most famous one in our store.
Great.
And yes.
That's really good. Whereabouts are you located, Julia? Let's talk about your location and how you work in terms of also how much notice do people need? I mean, do they buy off the rack? Obviously, do you make to measure? How does it work?
So our dress is all ready to buy off the rack, unless
Right.
it doesn't fit you and the customer feel like, I want to have, a brand new dress and it doesn't fit them. We want to make custom make to them, and turnaround time probably take about 3 to 4 months to make a dress ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quick. So yeah.
That's great.
And our location, we located in Deer Park.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
Yep.
Whereabouts, if anyone wants to...
Deer Park, very close to Deer Park Station. Right next to Derrimut.
Okay, not a problem.
Yep.
And they can find you on social media and so forth and things like that?
Exactly. You can find us on social media, yes.
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram.
Wonderful, wonderful.
The girls are ready to showcase another 2 beautiful dresses. And with that, we're going to ask the girl to wear our favorite bridal mask set. But because this bridal mask is one for groom and one for the bride, but we don't have the groom here. So one girl will wear groom and one girl will wear the bride's mask. But to let you know that one of the most selling during the COVID time and people getting married, a lot of when I posted online about we're selling the bridal mask, people thought that why we have to wear the mask during the wedding. They panicked because at that time we didn't have to wear the mask, but we created the mask to let people know this mask is so for fun photos. So we take a photo of the mask and you could take it off later, but the mask is to like 20 years back later. And then you look at the photos and you realize this is what we're getting married in the pandemic, to give you a positive vibe, to be like have a fun photos to remember. So we're gonna showcase 2 beautiful dresses with the bridal mask set. Here we go, guys. Yeah, can you go a bit closer? Yeah. And you wanna show off the mask. Here we go. I wanna bring a bit closer. You're gonna see this is Mrs. Yeah. Okay, and another one's coming. Josie. Here we go. So that's the meter. So she presented the room. Can you guys have to swap? You go this way. Yes. You go that way. Yeah. So that's a meter and Mrs.
That's great, Julia. With these masks, is there options for people to purchase these online or
yes,
in person?
So the mask is ready to make and then it's online. So on the brides can go online and purchase the mask. So we have here the bride and the groom mask. This is a meter and Mrs. So some people they like, having the bride and the groom. It's all embroidery. And here is our luxury one with all beading.
Wow.
And then we have all different one with just a plain one with the pearl. So they're all matching. And that's just a simple one with lace. With some dresses with just color. And this is one of the masks for the groom. I'll take it up for you so you can see. Here.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so if they like to have embroidery writing, they can have the bride and groom or the meter and Mrs. Otherwise, they can mix and match with, for the bride, lacy, and then the groom can have this. So it's kind of fun.
That's great. And I assume, you know, you accommodate for, you know, for our same-sex couples that wish that are getting married. So you can accommodate a pair for a groom and a bride and a bride. Yep.
Yes, we do. And then we actually just launched the mass with groomsmen and bridesmaids as well. It's just out. So it's already online. You can always purchase online.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
Well, thank you once again, Jullia.
Thank you.
You've got some amazing stuff there. So ladies and gentlemen, please reach out to Jullia. She is situated in Deer Park. You can find her details on social, on Instagram and Facebook, and make the relevant appointment to see Jullia in person.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So as we move along, ladies and gentlemen, we move from bridal gowns to somebody who is amazing at what she does. She has an amazing voice, and I've had the privilege to work with her personally over some recent times as well. And she is an amazing vocalist for your wedding, for your ceremony, for your function, your reception, whatever. And she's so diverse in her talent, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome my dear friend and comrade Debbi Arpini. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
Hi. It's fantastic to be here. So exciting. Loving the way that 2020 is making the COVID situation work. And
Yes.
getting to have these meetings with everybody is just fantastic. So thank you for having me. I will give you a little brief history and background on me, and then perhaps I might sing a little bit of a song for you. Don't know how it's going to come out on computer without a PA, but we'll give it a shot. So about me, so I started singing professionally probably in the late 90s, not realizing that I could sing until then. And I joined a few bands, sang with some live bands, and the bands that I was with basically started gravitating towards doing weddings. And that was the very early stages where it was actually uncool to be a wedding singer. And all the entertainers were like, you know, if you're not singing in clubs or pubs, you know, you're not a real performer. But the bands I was with, and I in particular, just love the whole experience of working with weddings and being there at, you know, on the happiest day of someone's life. And obviously that took off because a lot of bands are doing that now and specializing in it. But yeah, I fell in love with the wedding industry, and through that, I was asked to do a few ceremonies. And so from about the early 2000s onwards, that's been my specialty, although I still perform in bands. I perform with various different lineups, and I create a bespoke entertainment package for my couples. So based on what they require, what they need, and their budgets and whatnot. But definitely, I love all of it. I love weddings. Like everyone here tonight, we're all just so passionate about the wedding industry. To be taking part in the best day of someone's life is just a very, very special experience. And each and every time doesn't get any less special. It's always wonderful. So I'm going to give you a little example of, I'll sing a little bit of a song for you, and then we'll talk some more, I guess. So this one is a beautiful country song that was covered by Adele, and this is called Make You Feel My Love. Hope you can all hear that. I should say I've never sung at my desk before to an audience. Interesting. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, here, and there's no one there to dry your tears. I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I know that from the moment that we met, you're down in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. Oh, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Hope you can all hear that okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Deb.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very, very nice. And while you're singing, we're hearing those beautiful vocals. The questions were coming in. But before we get to the questions, is there anything else you wish to add, or?
Yeah, look, I guess just expanding on my previous point that I mentioned, I will basically, when I take a booking from a bride, I pretty much offer everything, I guess, starting from myself solo, and we can talk about that a little bit more shortly, about different packages. But basically, I try to just work with the brides and what they want, brides and grooms, or brides and brides, or grooms and grooms. Love it all. Love is love. And yeah, I just love, you know, customizing not only the music but the experience for them, and that can include everything from church weddings to venues, venue weddings, homes, parks, you name it. So done it all in my years.
Yes, and one of the questions which you just very briefly touched on, and I'm hoping you can elaborate a little bit further, that's come through, excuse me, is the question is, I have a modern take, I have a modern song that I would like to be stripped back and modernized to suit my ceremony. Can you assist with that, and how would you go about it?
Of course. Do they mean an older song that I'm modernizing? You just said a modern song that they're modernizing, so it can go either way.
I think what they're saying is it's a modern song, so it could be an upbeat song, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
They want to strip it back and bring it back for a ceremony or what have you. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that quite a lot, and I love doing that because it's, you know, again, just making that music choice and the ceremony experience itself a little unique. So that's always lovely. The way to strip it back generally would be with what kind of music is behind it. And again, that particular vibe and feel can be customized by the instruments I work with. I can use just what you just heard moments ago was using a professionally mastered instrumental backing track, and that's got all the full sounds of the original track, including the strings. Also can do that live with a pianist or an acoustic guitarist. So a good way to strip back what could be a dance song or a modern song or even a really old song and make it sound more current is in the instruments used. And I have a huge variety of musicians that I work with, which includes acoustic guitarists, pianists, saxophone players, string duo or trio or quartet, and so you name it, and I'll put it together to get the exact feel and sound that my bride or groom is asking for, basically.
Fantastic. And this next question, it's talking about international options. So I'm thinking, I think they're making reference to other languages or other specialties from a multicultural perspective. Can you elaborate a bit on that, Deb?
Yes. So I actually am quite fluent in Italian myself, and so I can sing in Italian, but I've actually sung, I'm quite good with languages and tend to learn languages quite easily, phonetically at least. So I've actually sung songs at weddings in French, Italian, and Spanish. So they're the three languages I can mainly cover to sing an entire lead vocal performance in, but I also sing backing vocals in Russian and Hebrew. I sing with Jewish bands and all of that. So generally I tend to be able to accommodate quite a big variety of different cultures if that's required. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I guess the question, during lockdown, have you been doing anything differently during this lockdown?
Yes, I've had some really interesting experiences actually. I think the first wedding I did during lockdown was during the first part of lockdown, where you're only allowed to have a maximum of 10, and that included the vocalist and the celebrant. And this was a church wedding, and I stepped into what looked quite a lot like a movie studio. So basically the whole thing was live streamed. So in that particular instance, I didn't have to cover up, and I was working solo. So, obviously there was no issues with the threat of COVID spread or anything like that. Not that I had anything, but I do always wear a mask, of course. I've got all the sanitizing equipment, alcohol wipes, and sanitize all of my equipment prior to and post performing. And if I am working with other musicians, we do have to respect our distances, and we all wear masks. The musicians who are not singing will have a mask on the whole time. And obviously, if that changes, then we'll roll with that very gladly. I wear a mask and I pull it down when I'm singing and put it back up if I'm not singing. So yeah, we obviously very, very careful about respecting distance requirements as well.
Fantastic. You spoke really well regarding the ceremony, but what packages do you actually offer for a reception?
Oh yes. Thank you for that. Yes, look, I can customize a complete package for my couples, which includes the ceremony entertainment, as well as some pre-dinner music and reception entertainment. So I can, again, just working with the couples and their needs, their budget, the room size, the amount of guests, we can put together something that incorporates the ceremony music as well as either a live band, which can be as small as a duo, right up to a full 8 to 10 piece live band. Or I can also work with DJs, and I put together a little package whereby I will sing at the ceremony either a solo or with an accompanist, like we discussed earlier. I will organise for either a string duo or a saxophone player doing some lovely live jazz through the canopies, which is always a beautiful touch. And then, for example, I'll either perform with the live band, number of their choice, band size of their choice, or alternatively the DJ package can include myself doing live dinner music, and then I hand it over to the DJ to finish the night for all the dancing, of course. And that does include an MC function as well. So I can MC in English and Italian, of course. And what I would normally do is MC the beginning, all the introductions, the speeches, introduce the father-daughter dance. In some instances, they request me to sing, the bridal, the couple's first dance and father-daughter dance. When that is done and it's all about the dancing, then I leave it in the DJ's capable hands, and he will then just MC the final part of the night, which is the bouquet throwing and garter, if that happens, or any kind of goodbye, goodbye traditions that they'd like to follow. So he will take over at the end of the night. I will stay on till usually around about 9 or 9:30. So the package basically incorporates all the entertainment needed from the ceremony right up to the time they go home. And that can also be customized for many, many different backgrounds and languages. Even if I'm not doing that live myself, obviously the DJ will we'll do that. So yeah, there are lots of options there. And I basically, that's why I call it a bespoke package, because I will talk to my couples either via a personal meeting beforehand, or nowadays a Zoom meeting is working so well. Ascertain what they need, what their background is, who their guests are, what their budget and room size is, and I'll give them some options and put together a package that they might, that they would be suited to. So, and then that they choose. So yeah, lots of options available there.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
You.
So much. Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, like I said, Deb, you are one of Melbourne's finest. And I recall when I first met you, and I was talking to someone, a passerby, and I heard you sing for the first time, and I thought, wow, what an amazing vocal. And I was talking to someone who was observing you as well. And during that discussion, I took note what they said, and I want to share this with you right now. And their exact words, and they quoted from an American poet by the name of George Garrett.
Wow.
And they described you as, her voice is like the harmony of angels, a voice as soft and murmurous as the wings that raise them high.
Oh.
And I thought, what a beautiful way to describe you. And I never forgot that. And I took note of that. And it's so testamental to that. And you're amazing at what you do.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, it's a privilege to know you. And thank you for your contribution to this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for a female vocalist for a ceremony, for your wedding, or other parts of, or any forms of entertainment, regardless where it is, corporate, etc., please reach out to the Bloom Entertainment site, Michelle directly. She can get you in contact with Debbi Arpini directly and assist you with your needs. So thank you, and please join me in giving a round of applause to Debbi Arpini. Thank you. So we're moving along, ladies and gentlemen, to, I guess, again, from bridal gowns to, I guess, vehicles on the day. Now, vehicles play a major part in our weddings, and there's a range of styles and so forth. But one that always comes to mind and is always on my top of my list, that especially for a classic, vintage, unique experience, is always classic cars. And Vincent is the director from there, who I've had the privilege of working with for many, many years. Vincent, it's a pleasure to have you on board, mate. Thank you and welcome. Over to you, mate, to showcase your pieces.
Wonderful. Well, look, thank you, Sam, and again, thank you to yourself and Michelle for this opportunity to be a part of the experience. So thank you. I'm pretty new at doing a Zoom, so thank you. So firstly, Always Classic Cars has been operating for 36 years. It was started by my father, the late Tom Roberts, with my mum, Josie, and they started chauffeuring way back in '84. Dad loved the experience. He loved the weddings. He also specialised in a lot of tourism. So we did a lot of, at the time, a lot of Japanese tourists. We did a lot of celebrities. My father drove consulates. In actual fact, I drove consulates. So it has been a very traditional family working environment. We had a couple of philosophies that we all abide by. And one of those philosophies is spoiling the principal person. And that principal person, whether it be the bride, the groom, or grooms, or brides, or anyone that wishes to have a beautiful drive in a classic car, we always thought that it's a time where they can reflect. They can look back on their wedding day or their special experience and just say, hey, you know, that was just beautiful. And to be able to do that as a chauffeur is extremely rewarding. I've been personally chauffeuring for about 32 years, probably driven a bit over 5,000 brides, grooms, now couples of all sorts. And it's exciting, and you know, it allows you to grow. And one thing about our industry, you have to grow with it, and you have to enjoy it, and you have to work with your photographers and your celebrants and every other component of the industry all coming together. We have an amazing collection of classic Rolls Royces and other English cars. In total, we have 24 cars. They come in black, two-tone, silver, white, and all different sizes. And a lot of the times we encourage couples to come to the showroom to sit inside the cars and experience the feel and just see whether it's comfortable for you. A lot of the times brides can have very large gowns, or they might be very tall brides, or vice versa. And it's nice that they get in a car that's going to give them that comfort where they're not creasing their gowns. They can get in and out of the cars easily. So that's all very important. So we do encourage couples to come to our showroom, which is at 360 Elgar Road, Box Hill. All the cars are all kept at the home. So it is a special purpose-built setup that Dad started many years ago. I'm very fortunate that I have a beautiful wife, Sylvia, and she's also been chauffeuring with me for about the same amount of time. We've done many weddings together. So we are very blessed to do all of that. We also look after a tour company where we do lots of pickups for elderly people, the retirees, and the company is called O'Shaughnessy's Travel. And they've just been amazing. We've been dealing with them for well over, oh gosh, close to 30 years, I think. And look, they're amazing. So we just don't do weddings. We specialise in all environments. We've done movie sets. Actually, come to think of it, I did a bridal fair at Erinsborough and Neighbours, and that was quite a first. But look, we tend to adapt to any environment. And that's what a true chauffeur does. He opens closed doors. He checks with the bride and he supports the couples in every way. We roll out red carpet. We provide drinks. I actually do a smile check. So, you know, you're there to support the couples. A lot of the couples are very nervous and they need that support. So it's extremely important. So, look, been quite a challenging year for all of us, especially all the couples. I've been speaking to many couples. Some have been changing their dates 5-6 times, and we've worked with them. You know, they're not going to lose a cent. What we do, we just move everything to that new date. And if a particular car's gone, what we'll do, we'll give them an equivalent. I mean, fortunately, we do have the hardware to do all that for them. So no one's going to miss out, and we're going to work with them. So it's extremely important. But I love chauffeuring. It's my passion. I think I'll be doing it for quite a long time to come still.
That's great. That's great, Vincent. And I guess with COVID and so forth, like all businesses, we all need to have a COVID plan in place and so forth. Do you want to give a bit of insight in terms of, you know, what are the restrictions? How many people can they have in a vehicle?
Yes.
What are they, is there a certain time and so forth? Where can I travel? Where can't I travel? Do I need to get permits when I'm getting my photo shoot location done, say in central Melbourne? Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, look, of course, and thank you, Sam. Look, with COVID, we do have a procedure. We have a procedure in the office where couples come to the office. They don't touch any doors. We do a temp check, we sanitize, and I guide them all the way through and make sure that that environment's comfortable. When they get in the cars, each chauffeur carries a COVID kit. So fortunately, we've actually had a few weddings, especially in the last 2 weeks. So the chauffeurs, they introduce themselves to the couples by just placing their hand on their heart, keeping the safe distancing. They've got their COVID kit so they can sanitize couples or the bridal party when they go in the cars. Fortunately, a lot of our cars have glass dividers. So they can sit in the back of the cars and feel totally comfortable. They can remove the mask as long as we've got that partition up. So if the partition's not up and they want, and they're okay with it, they can wear their mask. But there is a common sense approach. So obviously we're there to help them through all that. So definitely we do have the COVID plan. As many times as they come in and out of the cars, again, sanitize, spray the Glen 20. When the chauffeur's finished, they do a wipe with the wipes we provide, which kills all the germs. So look, we're very conscious of it. Safe distancing, of course, at all times, but we do make the experience a good experience.
That's great. Yeah, no, you're a testament to your industry and the standards you adhere to. So I've seen your work and your fleet on the roads, and also at the weddings that I've done, and 5-star all the way, Vincent.
Thank you, Sam. That's wonderful. Thank you.
No, it's great. So just to plug your business once again, where can we find you? You did mention in Box Hill. So,
Correct. So
they need to make an appointment. Is it walk in? I assume they have to make an appointment with you, or how does it work?
of course, and thank you once again. We're open 7 days a week. Because we operate from home, it gives us a lot of leverage. So look, all we need is it is by appointment, only so we're not getting couples doubling up, and it allows me to take them through all the cars, which takes a bit of time. Yep. But look, we find we're 7 days a week. We're open late till 8 p.m. of an evening during the week, and that helps with a lot of couples that are working during the day and need the time to come over in an evening. So we make ourselves available. We're open weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, predominantly in the mornings just before the cars go out. And that's also a nice experience for them to see the chauffeurs in the uniforms and see all the behind the scenes. So, that gives them a good outlook, but we're very, very flexible with our times. So, yeah, look, just ring up. I'm at 360 Elgar Road, Box Hill. We operate from a home, so maybe we should have called ourselves Home of Rolls Royce. But look, we do welcome all couples to come. It's truly worth the experience and helps them with their selection on their very sacred day.
Wonderful, wonderful. And also, ladies and gentlemen, also, if you don't mind me saying this, Vincent, yes, but you do specialise in the wedding industry, but also if you do for a chauffeured vehicle for any other event, you do accommodate that as well.
Of course, yeah. So just on the weekend, we did a surprise 80th birthday for a lady who lived in Kilsyth, and the family organised a special luncheon for them. Look, very emotional when they haven't seen a family for so long, and getting together and having their little 10 numbers, I guess, in their surprise luncheon. But yeah, look, that was really nice. We've got some really nice photos, and the chauffeur had an absolute ball. So it was nice to deliver that as well. We sometimes do theme nights, like couples will hire some of the cars from the 30s, also early 30s. So they sometimes have Gatsby themes. So ultimately, we're as good as your imagination. We've done corporate events. We've done end of the year events. If they want to have a nice drive to the winery where we can pick you up from home, take you to a winery. You can enjoy as many drinks as you like, because I'm going to make sure you're going to get home nice and safely, and that's very important.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you're a 5-star service for Melbourne, and you provide an amazing service, not only within the wedding industry, but any type of function that people require, cars such as and classic cars such as your fleet. So thank you, Vincent, to you and your family for your contribution to this industry.
Thank you, Sam. That's wonderful. Thank you.
It's greatly appreciated. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving another virtual round of applause for Always Classic Cars and its Managing Director, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the evening. Thank you.
Pleasure, pleasure. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you require any details surrounding any of the suppliers here this evening, you can reach out to Bloom Entertainment directly. All contact details will be provided accordingly, not just on today's session, but also all the other previous sessions we've had for all our contributors during this Getting Hitched series. So if you are joining us and you are having your dinner, we do hope you are enjoying your dinner. If you haven't had your dinner, I hope you have got a nice beverage in front of you and you're enjoying these amazing people that are before us here this evening. And I couldn't think of anyone else that would be more willing and ideal to finish off this series. I've known this gentleman for many, many years. Oh gosh, I can't even remember how many years. I'll leave it up to him to try and figure out. But yeah, he's flashing many tens in front of me. So his name is Nader, and ladies and gentlemen, he is the mastermind of DJing, MCing, and also the photo booth contribution. His business is called Midnight DJ, MC, and Photo Booths. Again, you can find him through the Bloom Entertainment family, and it's a great pleasure to welcome my dear friend Nader. Thank you.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here tonight. My name is Nader. It gives me great pleasure to be your DJ and MC. Now, I've just announced the housekeeping rules. And I've just announced the parents, and I've also just announced the bridal party. So ladies and gentlemen, the time that we've all been waiting for, instead of standing up, can I please ask you all to put your hands up in the air? And as we welcome our beautiful bride and groom, put your hands together for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Here we go, come on. Let's make it loud. Woo!
Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. I'm saying things I've never
Come on.
said, doing things I've never
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our beautiful bride and groom. Woo!
I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to
Alrighty, how you guys going out there? I thought, look, I'm the last person on this Zoom call, so I've got to do something a little bit different. Totally unplanned, by the way. But Sam, thank you so much. Yes, it has been quite a few years. I'm absolutely privileged to be here, and of course, a big shout out to Bloom Entertainment. So thank you, Michelle. You've done a fantastic job throughout the last couple of weeks. Again, I'm absolutely, we're looking at the 18. There's a lot of fantastic suppliers, and definitely today have been, a lot of them. Guys, very quickly, I mean, I've been doing this for quite a long time. I think I'm starting not to tell people how many years I've been doing this, but because I don't know if it's a good thing anymore, but 22 years I've been DJing, emceeing, and of course, doing weddings. I do specialize in weddings. So pretty much, I do everything. A lot of people sort of say, look, I do this. Really, I'm part of a team. It's really important because today's Zoom session is about the couple. And, it really is about the bride and groom like that. So people think, you're going to hire a celebrant by themselves. You're going to hire, car. You're going to hire a photographer. But really in the back end, it's all teamwork. Definitely, I play a very, very big role. But, a very successful day, not just ceremony or not just, the evening. It does involve a lot of people. So very quickly in point form, literally, I start from the morning. So, probably 80–90% of my weddings, I'll be at the ceremony doing the music. A lot of celebrants do have their own PA system, but I'm also there, supplying a microphone, etc. And but I don't only do the 3 songs, which are the bride or the groom walking down the aisle, signing the registry, and then after being announced as a couple. But I actually turn up a lot earlier, like an hour earlier, playing music. So as people are arriving, just giving them that atmosphere, exactly what I did in the start of this Zoom call. I kind of shocked the system a little bit. And I think I made you guys sort of, kind of wake up and what's going on. And this is what I do, the best way to describe what I do is I create lasting memories. Of course, the whole day starts from the morning. At night, I sort of, everyone hands them over to me for 5–6 hours. So my role is to create some lasting memories for each and every couple, their family, and also their guests. That's pretty much in a nutshell what I do. On the night, of course, I'm not dressed up that flash today, but I'm always in a suit and tie. Hopefully I can say, I've always done my hair, done the blow dryer and all that, and got ready for the evening. And pretty much, I work very closely with the staff, with the whoever's managing the night, the photographer, videographer, whoever else is there. I'm literally like the personal assistant to the couple. Everything is totally customized to the bride and groom. I think that's so important that people know it's not about me. Yes, I'm there to entertain people, but really it's about the couple. So it's really important that beforehand we talk about the main event songs, things like walking in song, the bridal dance. If there's, parents, both parents are going to be there, father and daughter dance, mother and son dance. What about a little bit later, is there tradition involved? So these are things, of course, we're blessed to live in a very multicultural world, country. And so, you get people, different European backgrounds. I always say to people, just like me, I was literally, I came here really young, but I'm just an Aussie with a suntan, really. But I say to people, look, even if you're not too traditional, come on, let's have a look at, let's look after the parents or the grandparents, the nonnas out there. Let's play something, to put that, traditional touch in there for everybody. So, and of course, I liaise with everybody. I manage everything. So DJ, MC, manage the night. And as Sam said, I also own a Midnight Photo Booth. I almost was going to say another name because Midnight Photo Booth is actually my 3rd business. I don't want to take credit, but about 11 years ago, I was one of the first people to bring or introduce photo booths here in Melbourne. Mine's an open style photo booth. So yeah, it's a great thing. And I mean, I can go on and on about it, but in a nutshell, what does DJ Nader do from Midnight DJs? I create lasting memories for the rest of your life. So yeah.
Fantastic. You do that, Nader, very well. And it's a credit to you with your contribution that you make, in your talent. Let's talk a bit about with your style in terms of DJing and so forth. And let's talk about the, as you touched very briefly on, the multicultural, especially in Melbourne. We live in a very multicultural society. If we have hypothetically a European family being, one side of the family, and then we have a totally different ethnic background, how do you work in cultures together?
Sam, that's a fantastic question, actually. I love it when there's two different cultures involved, because you've always got the main one. The base is the English, so we know we're going to play that. And whether it's, going back from the 70s, 80s, retro to all the way to, modern top 20 dance hits. For example, let's just pluck out, two cultures. It could be, Italian and Lebanese, for example. Absolutely, everyone has their traditional dances, whether it's, there's drummers involved or dancing or anything like that. When we talk about, the Turkish people, they've got something called the pinning of the money. So you just got to know things like that. Also, Russian people, and you've got Macedonian, they got certain dances that you got to do, When we talk about Greek people, I mean, there's certain dances that, the brother leads the way, then the sister leads the way. I mean, that's just a must. So it's really important to understand these things. And one of the first things that I say, I actually take advantage of the opportunity, and it goes my way, believe it or not. How does it go my way? Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to play a bit of Italian, we're going to play a little bit of Lebanese, we're going to play this. Even if you're not from that culture, please, we just want you to grab people on your table, bring them up, and just follow the person next to you. So all of a sudden, I've used that opportunity to my advantage just to get people up. Without being prejudiced, of course, you got the meals, you got the, formalities, you got everything in between, but I want to get them on the dance floor as much as possible. Yes, Sam.
Yes, and you do that very well. And I actually recall a wedding we did, we're going back many years now. It was a Lebanese and Indian wedding, and it was Bollywood style meets the traditional, entrance of the drummers and so forth. And they merged it together down this amazing venue. And the way you did it, Nader, it was to be commended. And it was very, very well orchestrated. And it is difficult to do, but you streamline it so seamlessly, and it just works, and it flows so well. So it's really incredible.
It's always a pleasure. I get a little bit nervous when I speak to Sam, because in my mind, Sam is not only a good friend, but he's definitely, if not the best, he's definitely one of the best MCs in the world, in my opinion. So I get a little bit nervous when you ask him, because it's the king himself. But I'm honored. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. We had fun that day. Yes.
Thank you. You spoke a little bit about the photo booth. Do you want to talk a bit about it? You spoke about being an open photo booth. What do you think about that?
Again, thank you. That's a fantastic point. So many moons ago, I actually DJ overseas a lot. Many years ago, I don't as much anymore. And I went overseas and I actually saw this photo booth, but it's the one that we're used to, the box type that you get in. I thought, wow, at weddings, like how, this and that. And I came back here, there was no one doing it in events. So I knew, remember 22 years back then, or whatever it was, 15 years or whatever. And I knew that box type wouldn't cut it, because you got all different shapes and sizes of people, maybe some disabled people, elderly people that, and it was limited to like 2 people. And I understand weddings, and I wanted to capture, as much fun as possible. So we came up with the open style photo booth, which was overseas. So I'm not sort of taking, putting my hand saying, hey, I'm the one who invented it. But it's great because you can fit 2 people in, or 20 people in. Of course, you turn up with a bunch of props. There's always a photo booth host or hostess on the night. There's a countdown, there's a large screen. People can see themselves. They feel really special because, that night they didn't expect it. That's number one. Number 2 is they're like, wow, we're the superstars, and we can create some, great memories doing funny poses, etc. So they take a few poses, 2 copies come out. One goes in the bridal guest book. We do supply a leather-bound bridal guest book. The host or hostess you know, put it in there, stick it in there, and we ask each guest to write their best wishes. So that's like a bridal guest book for the couple to take away that night. And of course, we also upload it online, etc. Something that's really, really cool is that, and this is a great idea for other couples, is that traditionally you would have what we call the bomboniera, so a little gift that the couple would, you know, provide for the guests to take home as a memento, as a memory. So what we do is we go that little bit further, where we actually can put the bride and groom, or the groom and groom, or the bride and bride, you know, we can put their photo at the bottom or the top of the photo strip. So each single photo strip that gets taken out, not only do they have their photo, but they've also got the couple's photo. And as you can imagine, like a lot of people spend, you know, minimum 10 to 20, 30 or more dollars on a bomboniera, chocolates that they eat them and then they throw them out. But with this, I guarantee you they'll never throw them out. So that's a great bomboniera idea for the couples.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It is. And again, it is the expansion of seeing a visual of their memory of their evening, because, you know, the couple themselves are so consumed on the evening, and it goes so quick for them. You know, having an addition to the actual formalities of the evening, such as the photo booth, is such a great idea. And they can actually physically look back on. So it's really, really good in my view. So, but Nader, thank you so much for what you do, for your contribution, what you do. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please, would you give a virtual round of applause to my dear friend Nader. His details are with the Bloom Entertainment family, and Michelle will be sharing that to anyone that's interested. And thank you to all our speakers here this evening. So, and not only the speakers that we've got tonight, but for all the contributors that we've had over the past 5 weeks. You're all an amazing group of talented individuals in your own right, and contributors to this industry, and not only just the wedding industry. I know predominantly we are focusing on weddings and so forth, but, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking at you know, corporate events or down the track, and or any, you know, personal, you know, parties and things like that, or other family events, please do reach out to the Bloom Entertainment family. Michelle can cater that, and as her motto is, it is by design, so she can actually design it to suit your needs. And she's very fortunate to have a portfolio of talented people that can accommodate those requirements to our various ever-changing industry. So which is great. So on that note, it's been a great pleasure to co-host and talk to these amazing people. Thank you, Michelle, for the opportunity. It's been an amazing journey, and yeah, hopefully I'll see all my dear friends very, very soon as restrictions lift.
Thank you, Sam. What an amazing night for our last session. Like you were saying, I feel so blessed to be surrounded by such amazing professionals. We are fortunate to be in an industry where everybody loves what they're doing, that every single wedding is different, and it's just a fun place to be all the time. So I love that. I wanted to say a thank you to all of the suppliers and couples who have joined us over the last 5 weeks. I could not have asked for a better team of professionals to help all of our couples on their wedding journey. All up, we've had 25 suppliers join us through the Zoom, so it's been fantastic. I want to say a massive thank you to Lorenzo Iannotti, who has been there by my side, making sure that everything runs smoothly behind the scenes. So thank you, Lorenzo. Marika, who has been there to make sure that all the music runs every week. Thank you, that's been fantastic. And Sam, what can I say? You have just been an absolute blessing. Thank you for guiding all of our couples and our suppliers through each of the sessions. I couldn't have asked for someone who has been more dedicated, more passionate, more wanting to do the sessions as much as we did at Bloom. So I absolutely appreciate that. For those of you, well, no one would know this, I guess, except for the suppliers, but Sam and I have obviously been the ones that have been on the Zoom every week, and every week we've had a little bit of a competition of our backgrounds and making sure that we try and present a great scene for you guys. And I can see tonight, Sam, that you have some beautiful roses there. So I'm feeling a little bit jealous, but they are absolutely stunning. On behalf of all of the suppliers and the staff of Bloom Entertainment by Design, we hope that you've enjoyed the Getting Hitched series as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Thank you for being here. Again, please make sure you go back and look at the previous episodes. If you haven't had the opportunity to join in each week, we have loved doing the sessions. Thank you for being here. Good night. Best of luck with your planning, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you want to believe that anything could stop me, don't show up.